Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you're seeing here, my Hobonichi order has finally arrived after almost 4 weeks of waiting. For those of you who have ordered directly from the Hobonichi website, you probably understand why the wait is just the most excruciating thing you've ever experienced. The wanting to have all of your orders with you at your hands right now is something that is going to be very challenging for the likes of us who love our stationery. But I just wanted to preface that this pile that you're seeing here is not 100% ordered from Hobonichi. There are a few things that I ordered from one of our local stationeries here in Taipei. I joined the group order and then I thought about ordering directly from Hobonichi because there are some items that I missed out on and it's a lot more cheaper for me to buy directly from Hobonichi. And I don't have any issues with tariffs or any other surprise fees because we don't have that issue here in Taiwan. But nevertheless, the wait was just the one that really got me into a spiral. I know that's really very lofty kind of issue to be thinking about, but now that it's finally here, I'm really happy about it. Just to also share like a very quick story about it. This is my very first time ordering directly from Hobonichi, and in previous years, I just buy from my local stationery stores because some of the selections from Hobonichi are available here in Taiwan, except of course for the Loft exclusive or the Tobichi exclusives kinds of collections. But generally speaking, Hobonichi is very easily accessible here in Taiwan. So this is the first year that I tried that and I really like the price. I mean, compared to the local prices when they're already here in Taiwan, it's of course stores will have a markup to be able to have profit, but because of that, there are some items that I could not purchase because of that very steep price. And when I looked at the prices directly from the Hobonichi store and comparing them with local prices, I felt that it's a lot more economical to buy directly. And the good thing is that you get the exclusive freebies directly from the website. But because I also did a group order this year, I was able to get the exclusive paperweight freebie. And in previous Hobonichi release dates, I did not get any freebies. So I was just pretty much a beginner in Hobonichi back then. But in 2026, I'm really looking forward to exploring more Hobonichi and exploring more of the other accessories that come with it. So please join me as I take a look at everything that I've ordered. And I'm also going to share how I'm planning to use these books and these accessories. And I'm also thinking about doing a pen test because that's the fun part of after unboxing your orders and to test the paper to see if the Tomoe River paper of 2026 will hold up to most of the writing tools that we planner and stationery lovers love to use. So please join me as I talk about all of these cool things. Let's get on with it. Alright, so I have taken out the plastic packaging from the products that you're seeing here right now. So this is basically everything unloaded and it's a lot less bulky now on screen. Before I proceed, I just wanted to mention that as I said in the beginning of this video, this is my first time ordering directly from Hobonichi. So I did get the green box. They slapped on the packaging details or like my contact details in there. So this is the box. And I was really surprised that it was not as big as I thought it would be. It's just a tad, like an inch longer and wider than a B5 notebook. Other people also get that white and yellow box from Hobonichi and inside they have the green box. So I'm not sure why each person has a different packaging. I know that's a very minor thing, but I'm just curious. Maybe it depends on where the destination of the package is going to be. But here in Taiwan, I don't really, at least in my experience, the goods shipped to Taiwan are handled carefully, so there's not a lot of dings and, damaged boxes. So when this arrived in my house, I know that this was delivered by FedEx, so at least there's a little bit of care to it, at least here in Taiwan. I'm not sure in other territories, but my Green Hobonichi box arrived pretty much in a solid form. There's not a lot of dents or scratches or creases or whatever, so I was really happy with that, which means I can reuse the box and put whatever inside, because a lot of people I know collect these boxes as well because it's Hobonichi and we all love our Hobonichis, right? So that's short story. I'm just wanting to share because as a first time buyer from the 1101 website, it was my first experience with opening the box and experiencing everything what I've been seeing in so many YouTube videos about their Hobonichi unboxing. So I'm so happy to be able to make my own sharing of what I've purchased from Hobonichi this year. So let's get into it. So I'm really excited about it. So the first thing that I have here is a 5-year planner or a 5-year diary. This is going to be my first year. 2026 is going to be my first year with this one. I bought this because my sister told me to buy it as her Christmas gift to me. So I bought it. So thank you to my sister for sponsoring this 5-year diary. So I'm really excited as it's going to be my first time to use this specific techo. I have used a 5-year diary before, but it's not a Hobonichi planner or it's not Hobonichi brand. I think I've shared it before in my very early videos that I've used it as pretty much highlighting or like writing what happened during the day or like highlights of the day. For this 5-year diary, my plan is to record and document some cool highlights of every day with my husband. I got married in 2023, so it's already 2 years into the marriage, and I just did not even think about documenting the start of my marriage because it's a big choice in life, right? Marrying someone and starting a life together. So that's my plan for this one. I am going to be documenting our life as a married couple. That's the plan. So I'm pretty sure if you have watched a lot of Hobonichi unboxings, you know what the layout of this planner is. So I'm not going to go and walk you through all of it. But my plan for the daily pages, at least on the left side, is, as what I mentioned, is to write a highlight of the day for the two of us, basically talking about what did we do together, any funny dialogues or any funny conversations that we had, or something that I want to remember about our life together as a married couple. And I pretty much chose the A6 because of its small size and because I live in a small apartment. I don't have that much storage, and I feel that getting an A6 will be a lot more manageable to do daily highlight of the day journaling kind of thing. So that is the plan for at least in the left side. And I love that. I think this is pretty much 4mm grid paper. So I think that will be manageable, and I like the size of it because it's not too small compared to the grid in the weeks, for example. And on the right side, I don't know. It really depends. I don't want to bulk up this 5-year diary pretty much because it is already chunky in itself. It's like a Bible. So I don't want to chunk it up even more, but I'm planning to use some stickers, some stamps to decorate, perhaps like one decoration per year, like in this this strip that you're seeing here. That is the plan. Or maybe I can, stick some very thin ephemera to highlight what happened during that day. Depends. For example, if we go out and go to a restaurant or go to a cafe, just a remembrance of that special moment in that day, I would think about doing that. But basically, my main goal is not to chunk up this diary pretty much. So I will try to think about how to utilize this right-hand page. So those are my initial thoughts for now. And I will continue to think about it as the days go on and before we start 2026, because I really am looking forward to this. I am looking forward to filling up the entire 5 years of our marriage in this book. As you know, I believe you've seen it in some of the people who have bought this particular techo as well. It comes with this pamphlet, how to use the 5 year, and it also comes with this sample paper that you can do a pen test of. I have very high hopes that the paper will perform well, and I will do a pen test of all of the books that you're seeing here in a while. So that is the plan with this 5 year diary. And speaking of which, I also got this very cute Moomin leather cover for my 5 year. This is also a first for me. I have never bought an expensive cover from Hobonichi, mainly because of the price. It's really the price that stops me from splurging pretty much on Hobonichi. But this year I thought that my sister, she sponsored this particular techo and the cover itself. So I'm like, okay, let's go do it. And I'm really happy to have gotten this. I love leather goods, and I'm really happy that I got this 5 year Moomin cover. I think it's leather. I believe so. And you have an illustration of the Moomin map. I'm not gonna try to pronounce some of these Dutch words, but basically it comes with this cute insert paper. And one thing I noticed when I was perusing the insides of these flaps is that this cover is made in China. Just a heads up to those who are in the States who are thinking of buying this. I had a video previously of talking about how Hobonichi prices have skyrocketed, not just the price itself, but also for US buyers, that the tariffs and other import duties and stuff are going to be factored into your total cost. And the fact that this is made in China, the reason why I know that is there is like this small tag inside the flap that says it's made in China. So just a heads up that it's gonna factor in the cost if you're buying directly from Hobonichi. So that's how it fits inside this cover, very snug. And if you are the person who also likes to put some ephemera in their 5 year journal, I think this still allows you some room to grow your 5 year diary. But for me, I'm going to do my best to not keep it so chunky, because I know at the latter part of the year, at least on the 5th year, probably it might be difficult to write on either side of the book itself. I don't know if I should put this front cover inside the other flap, but I'm not gonna do that for now. But then, yeah, I really love the feel of it. It's giving me a lot more sturdiness to it. It feels good on the hand. And this pen loop that you're seeing here, you can't really put any pen, and probably the intention is to just have your pen clip slide in this loop here, and in that way you have a pen that you can use daily with your 5 year journal. But then again, this is really good. I do not plan to buy a cover and cover for this. And this is the reason why I picked up this cover, because I don't need a cover on cover for this. And the fact that it's leather, it's a dark color, then, it's not going to be that much of a dirt magnet, or it's not going to be that noticeable. And I love the embossing of Moomin here at the front and the back and on the spine itself. I just realized today that there is some embossing here in the spine. I hope the camera is picking it up. There you go. So it's in Dutch, so I cannot pronounce Dutch words. And I don't think there is any, there is no other pocket inside, so I'll probably just slide that in there or use that insert as an ephemera of sorts. Another thing that I picked up is this A6 Arts and Science Planner. This is also the first time I'll be using an A6 Arts and Science Planner. Previously, I have used the A6 Original, so I'm familiar with the size. And I picked this up with the goal of using this as a goal book. So I track a lot of things in my planners, and the goal for this book is to summarize all of the trackings that I'm doing here, and this is going to act as kind of like my North Star when it comes to synthesizing and summarizing all of the goals and the habits that I'm tracking in some of my planners and journals, and to make sense and reflect on all of those things things here in this book. So that's also the reason why I picked up just a very small book. Actually, the gold book is something new that I am going to try next year, because so far with my habits and my tracking systems and all of that, they're doing very well in their respective planners. But I want to have a bit more time to reflect on all of these things that I'm keeping track of and make sense of them, so that I can make some decisions on how to change things or pivot if there is a need for me to change things up when things are not working really well. And yeah, pretty much to reflect on it. And the small footprint of an A6 Techo is going to help me with that. I have plans on how to use this, so please stay tuned if you are interested to know how am I going to set this up. But basically, that's the plan for this A6 Arts and Science planner. This one comes with this, I don't know, insert like an intro to the Techo planner. And it also comes with your You Love You pamphlet, the theme for the year. And again, I'm not gonna walk you through the entire layout, as I know a lot of you who are watching this video already know the layouts of the Hobonichi planners. Yeah, the reason why I picked this up, aside from it being a gold book, is one of the things that I like about this one compared to the A6 original is the 4mm grid and the white paper. And the fact that it's in English, and there's just a lot of breathing room for this planner. And that's what I really love about it. And the fact that the tabs here are pretty much alternating brown and orange here. So it's not as colorful as the A6 original. I prefer to have it more muted. And the only colors that you're seeing here is on Sunday. And I just really love the 4mm grid and how clean the layout of this planner is. So I have very specific plans on how am I gonna use the Calendex and the monthly sections and the daily. So yeah, although this is a pretty much like a daily planner, I'm not gonna be super strict with it. And that's also the reason why I learned my lesson. If you are going to buy several dated planners and you don't know how to use all of them, just think about them as a regular notebook and use them as a regular notebook. Don't think about the dates, and still think about a purpose of how you want to use the planner or the journal. But if it's dated, then I found peace not really thinking about it as dailies that I have to be in here daily, because that stresses me out. Like I said, I will have separate video on how to set this up and how I'm going to use this. So please stay tuned if you are interested to know more about that. There's a lot of things about this Arts and Science planner that I'm really excited about that I have not experienced with a regular A6 original. Case in point, I did not know that they had a dot grid free notes section here, and that the dot grid is in red dots. Very, very cool. And all of these back pages are also different from last year, so they never stay the same. And I bought a Tragen cover for my A6 Arts and Science planner. So again, this is a first for me. I think the only cover that I've bought from Hobonichi is like the color series. Like that was back in 2024, if I'm not mistaken, 2023. So it's just the plain colored butterfly closure kind of cover. But this one, I was really smitten with the Tragen, particularly with this color, the mustard. So I was really looking at it several times. And now that I have bought it, I'm really happy that I got it because it feels so nice. It's like nylon. I feel like when I touch the cover, it's giving backpack or like your knapsack Kipling kind of material. Yeah, it's like a Kipling backpack, and I love that. And the fact that the cover itself is very lightweight because it's made of like nylon material, it's a lot easier to wield and put your planner in there. So I did buy a Midori clear cover to protect this one, so I will just use it as is, like this, slide it in here and close it up like so. Oh, it feels really good, and there is some room for this to grow. But since this planner is gonna be a gold book, so it's gonna be very functional. So not a lot of decoration, ephemera, pictures kind of thing. So that's not gonna happen in this book. This is just gonna be like my summary of all of the things that I'm tracking. And I bought this as well because I did not even realize that you could probably fit in a 5-year diary in here. And there are some people in Reddit and online who are saying that you can put a 5-year in the Tragen. So let's just try that. I'm so excited. Yes, it does fit. Ah, oh my gosh. I'm so happy because this ain't cheap. Everything Hobonichi ain't cheap, but I'm glad that I got this one because this is another alternative for a 5-year cover, and it's a lot slimmer in profile compared to this leather one. And if ever I do plan to bring it out, it's a lot easier to wield and to bring around. And the fact that it has this zipper pouch here at the front, I can put in very few pens and stickers and stuff like that. I'm not planning to bulk this up. And there's also a side flap here that you can add some receipts, papers, postcards, what have you. But I don't want to bulk this up because I really just want to use it for a wrapper. I really just want to use this as a cover to protect the techo. And this is a first for me because I am not really much of a trifold cover person because I don't like opening it. And as you can see, it hogs up so much real estate on a desk. And if you want to flip your planner open in right here, there's just a lot of space, and I don't want to have so much clutter on my desk. It was not in my first priority of things to purchase from Hobonichi. So if you know, I think this is the second year of Hobonichi with the Tragen. It was first released, if I'm not mistaken, 2024, probably in spring. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a fairly new lineup into their covers. And although it was very tempting at first, the fact that it was a trifold did not appeal to me initially. But when they launched another color set or colorway for the Tragen, and I saw this, I'm like, this is so beautiful. And it's not, at first in the website, I thought it was really yellow or like really mustard yellow. But here, as I'm seeing it and I have it in my hands, it's kind of like honey colored. And I am like so into honey colored inks right now. So this is like serendipity. And I love that the color is really up my alley, brown, honey-ish kind of color. And the fact that it can hold the 5-year and it can hold a regular A6 with room to grow is really the icing on the cake. And I'm really happy that I picked this up. No regrets. So, and I'm glad that I got an A6 because I also thought about getting a week size Tragen, but that might be overkill because it is expensive. So this is where it's gonna live. I'm gonna put this to the side, and then we're gonna go to the weeks. So this cover of the weeks, I love Moomin. I'm not a super fan of Moomin, but I do love it. It's very cute. It's very nostalgic. It evokes a lot of childhood vibes. Although I did not grow up watching Moomin cartoons, it was only in adulthood that I got to know about this brand, and kind of like Sanrio, right? Probably feels like the Sanrio of the Dutch. But I love how nostalgic the vibes this is giving off. And I thought about getting the bow and tie Moomin weeks as well, the red one. But there was something that held me back about getting a bow and tie. So I got this other variant, and I actually love the cool tone of this cover. So this is the To the Outdoor Dance Hall cover, and it has silver foiling of 2026 here. So how am I going to use it? This is going to be my language planner. So if you have had the opportunity to take a look at my previous video, I talked about using a Hobonichi Weeks for a language learning journal planner. And up until now, I'm still using my repurposed Hobonichi Weeks for that purpose. And it has been working well, so I thought about getting a Weeks for that. My health planner, which is also in a Hobonichi Weeks this year, I'm going to be moving that to a Jibun Techo. So I will have another video talking about the Jibun Techo because I also ordered a couple of accessories from the Kokyo website. So I will create a separate video for that. So basically, this is how I will use the Hobonichi Weeks as a language planner. Wow, I really love opening new planners from Hobonichi because the sensation of the paper, like opening the book for the first time, smelling it, if you are a book person, you understand the value of smelling the pages of books fresh off the press. I love the smell of it. And I also picked up these notepads from Hobonichi that I will use in tandem with this week's because I did not get a week's mega. In hindsight, I should have gotten a week's mega because I could use the extra pages for writing notes for my weekly lessons and also my exercises, writing exercises, and basically any note taking about the language that I'm learning can be very useful if I had purchased a week's mega. But I haven't thought about it, and yeah, I'm kicking myself for not getting one. But I've initially thought about just the regular weeks and these 3 notepads so that it's very easy to just tuck it in a clear cover and bring it around. So that's the purpose behind this. And I wanted to keep it slim as well. I am really into very compact planners and notebooks lately, and I don't want to add so much bulk whenever I bring some of my planners, for example, into the office. I guess it's fine if I don't get a mega. Maybe next year I can consider doing that because I have heard from other people that depending on the weeks that you get, it doesn't lay flat, especially the sneaker weeks. But you do have to train it. The regular weeks mega that is in a similar cover can lay flat, but I never really thought about it because the weeks mega was never in my radar for the longest time. So maybe next year I can consider doing that. So that's the plan with this Hobonichi Weeks. So those are all the techos. As for accessories, this is the only thing that I got. I got 2 of these sticky notes, the Tsuki no Iro sticky notes that are foldable. I love that feature that you can use one page and stick it into your techo and then fold them so that it doesn't, hang out of the page, and it acts like an ephemera of sorts, for people who are into junk journaling and you try to stick in some ephemera like a brochure or a bookmark or a postcard and you stick it with washi and you flip it on the page. That's kind of like the same philosophy as well with this sticky note. But the thing is, it's gridded and it's foldable, as you can see here. So you can tuck it in your page and fold it closed with the book. I like that idea. And I've already seen a couple of other planner companies like Aura Estelle, who else? Paper Test. They have some tip-ins. They call it tip-ins. Tip-in pages, basically, that has the same idea that you can write whatever that you want, extra ideas or like a brain dump that you can just stick in on your planner and fold the paper as you close the book and call it a day. So that's the idea about this post-it note as well. And that's the reason why I like it. And Kokuyo also has something similar, but the thing is, everything is sold out in Kokuyo in terms of their foldable sticky notes, which is such a shame. But this Tsuki no Iro post-it is actually not the same grid size as the Arts and Science because the grid is bigger. So this post-it can basically work in a Hobonichi Weeks or in an A6 original or in a cousin probably. So you can see that the grid size is very similar in size here. Sorry, things fell off of that fell off. Okay, anyway, that's the thing. This is the only accessory that I bought. And of course, I did get the pens. And also the robot. I got 2 pens because I first bought the Arts and Science and the Weeks from a group order. So I got 2 pens. So this is from the group order, sorry. So these and what else? I think that's it. These are the ones that came in with the that came in with a group order that's not from the website, and the rest are from the website. So I got another robot as well. So I got two robots because of the 5-year diary. And I didn't buy a lot of other accessories. That's pretty much it because I didn't want to have so much. And I have far too many washi tapes, stickers. I have so many of them already that I have not even finished up. So I think that's pretty much enough for accessories from Hobonichi. And actually, my goal is really to just buy the 5-year and a cover. And that's pretty much it for the planners, journals that I got from Hobonichi. And now we're gonna try to do pen tests. All right, so now I have finished with the pen test off cam. I decided to do that so that I won't have to bore you with a lot of pen testing the same pens in 1, 2, 3, 4 books. So I'll just share them with you one by one just to see if the paper holds up. And for all of you who are still on the fence about Hobonichi, I know I also mentioned this before that I would want to see how other people pen test their Hobonichis before I bite the bullet to buy my own Hobonichi. And so far, looking at the pen tests here in the weeks, so these are the pens that I used here. Here, I just stuffed them all here. And this is how they have performed so far. So I used the Jinhao, Hongdian, Twisby, and Lamy. These are some of my very wet and juicy pens. And they are inked with wet inks like Colorverse and Vinta, and also Pilot Iroshizuku. They are good, juicy, wet kind of inks. And they are in, I would say, a bit of a thicker nib kind of fountain pen. And I purposely chose that so that we can see how the ink lays on the paper and later on how the backside of this paper looks like. And these are the fountain pens that I use. I also used some ballpoint pens, the Uniball Jetstream in 0.5, and some gel pens like the Uniball Signo, Sarasa Clip, and Zento, fine liners like Unipin and Le Pen. I also use a Zebra Click Art and some of my highlighters, and I also used a stamp. This is the Versa Magic stamp pad. This is the chalk ink, and I do know for a fact that this kind of ink works well with Tomoe River paper. So far the behavior of the fountain pen inks are pretty good. I can see the shading. The sheening on this Lamy Safari ink, this is inked with Yamabudo. So Yamabudo is sheening a little bit, and I can see some shading on the ink here on the paper. Sheening, not so much. There is a little bit of sheening there, but it's not as prominent. And with regards to the ballpoint, it performs really well. The gel pens are all good. And I purposely use this particular, highlighter, because this is one of my juicy highlighters. This is the Mojin line non-smear highlighter. And that's the reason why I like to using it, because it doesn't smear. So these are like one of like the highlighters that are very inky for me. And the stamp that I used. And let's take a look at the back of this paper, see how it forms. So far, all is good, except probably for the Zebra Click Art. It's showing through a little bit more, but there is no bleed through across all the inks that you're seeing here and across all the pens that I've used. Even the stamp, it's showing through, but just a little bit. I also tested the ink performance on the notepads. So same ink, same highlighter, same stamp. So here in the notepad, I also tested out the inks and then the highlighters and the stamp. On the other side, the inks bled through. I think this is also Tomoe River, right? But maybe a different batch. So, really bad. I can't use fountain pen inks on this notepad, which is, I think that's fine for me because in my language planner, I don't use fountain pens anyway. I either use the friction gel pen or Uni Jetstream or mechanical pencil. So I don't really need fountain pen inks for this use of the notepad, but just to let you know, the inks just bled through. all of the 4 fountain pens that I used. But with regards to the ballpoint, the gel pens, they're all doing well. The click art, as expected, the show through is pretty extreme, kind of like the fountain pen inks as well. But the highlighters, they're okay. The stamp is a little bit of shadowing, but otherwise okay. It's just that the fountain pens are just a disappointment. They're not really very good on this paper in the notepads. Okay, let's go to the paper on the 5-year diary. So I just used the freebie sheet of paper. So using the same inks as well, the stamp. At the other side, it actually performs okay. The fountain pens, there's a bit of shadowing, which is characteristic of this paper. Totally fine with me. I have no complaints. The click art is showing through. The ghosting is a little bit more, but otherwise okay. But nevertheless, I'm not going to be using click art on this diary anyway. The highlighters are performing well. The stamp is okay. Shadow, there is shadowing, but not horrible. It's not bleeding through. With VersaFine, I suggest you use VersaFine on Tomoe River. Oh, sorry. I suggest you use Versa Magic chalk ink on Tomoe River. So the 5-year, thank God, they're okay. I would hate to see any bleed through on the 5-year diary. Last but not the least, on the A6 Arts and Science. So this is white paper, same inks, same stamp, same highlighters. Taking a look at the other side of the page, ghosting is fine. I'm so happy. This is okay. This is acceptable ghosting to me. I've been using Tomoe River for many years now. So again, the zebra click art is showing through a little bit more, but no bleed through. The rest are okay. The fountain pen inks are shadowing, but it is otherwise fine. The paper at the back is still usable. So I guess my takeaway, don't use fountain pen inks on this notepad because it's just atrocious. Cannot be used. This side I cannot use anymore. All right, there you have it. This is pretty much a very long video already and I apologize, but I do hope that you have found something useful, something insightful in this sharing that I have today. And if you are still on the fence thinking about whether to buy Hobonichi this year, the paper I would say is really performing well. But then this is just a preliminary testing. We will still have some check-ins after the first few months of 2026 because I want to see for myself if the pages are as consistent all throughout and not just at the back, you know, not just at the page where I tested the pens. So I want to see that if it's actually working well across all the books, across all the pages. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much again for your time. If you are interested in more content from me, please consider subscribing, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.